Update, girlfriend wanted an open relationship so I broke up with her, now she wants to get back together. After posting and expressing to some people that I had a suspicion she cheated on me, I couldn't get the nagging feeling out of my head. I didn't want to know at first but decided to go digging and ask mutual friends what my ex had been up to that month when she was acting shady. I didn't expect one of her closest friends to spill the beans but she did. My suspicions were correct, she had been cheating on me with a mutual friend's cousin. I decided to message the guy on Facebook. When I messaged him, he wanted to meet in person so I met him at a local pub. When I got there he apologized and explained everything, how he didn't know she was in a relationship and that the day she called me wanting me back is the day he found out and broke it off. I can't fault the guy, he seemed genuine and really apologetic. On the plus side I drank for free the entire time. He seems like a great guy, especially considering how he broke it off right away once he found out. I won't lie, he's a handsome and great guy and I would let him F me to rub it in my ex's face lol. But at least I have a bit of closure now. I've blocked my ex on everything and I'm gathering her stuff she's left here to mail to her so she doesn't come knocking. It's taking a lot of power not to leave a note in the box along the lines of, Mark seems nice, too bad you lost him too.
Update, I had a seizure while making love and now I'm pregnant. A lot has happened this past week and it's been really hectic. I'm so thankful for all the support I've received and the courage I was given to tell my friend. If I hadn't told her I don't know what I would have done. She was the one who marched me to the car and drove me to the police station and sat with me for hours as I went through everything that happened. She took me to all my appointments and organized everything for me, but enough about that. I'm in a much better headspace right now so I want to tell you what happened. First is the baby is gone. Once my neurologist heard what happened she booked everything that needed to be booked ASAP. I've been running from doctor to therapist to doctor again and I'm finally without child. Next is I spoke to my general practitioner as well about what happened and she signed me off work for a month and gave me a referral to a psychologist. I adore my general practitioner. If I told her I was feeling a bit down she would give me a week off work no questions asked, but a month, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. At least I am still getting paid. Now this is the hardest part, so I went to the police as I mentioned in my last post. I gave them my phone, I told them what happened and initially I had a female officer with me who seemed so passionate about getting justice. She was really reassuring and told me she will get the detective to call me first thing, but the detective was the complete opposite. He never really said if I had a case or not but he seemed annoyed that I was even there talking to him. He was constantly rolling his eyes and sighing and he cut me off and said it's my choice what to do and just said to email him if I want to pursue it any further. So now I'm stuck on that. I quit. I want to do anymore because I don't trust this guy to help me. He kept talking about how traumatizing going to court would be for me but I think he just doesn't want to go further with this case. But and it's a big but, my now ex broke into my brother's house thinking I was staying there. My brother heard stuff smashing in the living room and went to investigate and found my ex in there smashing up the coffee table and the TV and he asked my brother where I was. My brother didn't tell him and he just left in a huff. So now my brother is on a warpath to get this guy. I am at my brother's now and I'm trying to convince him to go to the police instead of becoming Liam Neeson but his anger seems to be growing and not lessening as the days go by. I don't really feel bad at anymore. I don't think I need him to go to jail or anything for me to feel better. I just feel like I didn't teach him a lesson, you know, like I need to really beat it into him that what he did was wrong. He needs to feel as scared as I did so he never does it to someone else. That's it for updates. I'm just going to go to therapy and see where life spits me out after thoroughly chewing me up.
My girlfriend made love with another guy and I'm feeling extremely guilty. The situation is very hurtful because me and my girlfriend recently moved in together and things were going great. We both had a great relationship with each other families. Now everyone is upset with me because I asked her to take a break and I'm considering to break up. We had talked about experimenting with trios which turned us on a lot. We agreed that we would try it twice, once with another guy and once with another girl. We were really both into it. So long story short we met this guy and we both agreed to do it. After a few drinks we went home with him. We were really turned on at first but just before we started, I started getting a bit uncomfortable and then they started kissing and making love and after a short while it just felt awful. I couldn't even get turned on and it was basically the two of them making love. It was the most embarrassing thing I ever experienced. They did try a lot to include me to be fair, which made it even more embarrassing as I couldn't do anything. So I tried to get over it but I just can't. It was too embarrassing and uncomfortable for me. I'm causing everyone to be upset and I'm feeling extremely guilty towards my girlfriend because I was in until the last moment and she even asked me if I was sure before starting and I said yes. I've never seen her this hurt and our families are both really upset and asking me to reconsider. They don't know what happened of course. What should I do? I can't go on in the relationship when I feel so ashamed and humiliated by how it went that I can't even look my girlfriend in her eyes without feeling the embarrassment.
Today I messed up by glancing at my boyfriend's phone while out to dinner. This just happened last night. I was out to dinner with my boyfriend and before the server took our order, I went to the bathroom. When I got back to sit down, my boyfriend's phone was open on the table and I happened to notice a message from someone with red hearts. I honestly at first thought nothing of it. I wasn't even trying to look at his phone. It just happened to be right there. I'm not a jealous person. He's never given me any reason to think he's cheating and we have a very healthy relationship. I do however struggle with intrusive thoughts and trauma from people burning me in the past. I've been in therapy and I've made a lot of progress and haven't had any major episodes in a long time. But when my boyfriend immediately picked up his phone and says, "I have to text my boss real quick," I started to panic. I tried to tell myself I was being irrational. He literally could have had to text his boss and just remembered at that moment, and the hearts could have been from his mom for all I know, so I told myself to let it go because like I said, he's never given me a reason to doubt him and we've always had a very trusting relationship, but for some reason every single thing he said and did that sent me into a spiral. I started rapidly switching between thinking I was being irrational for no reason whatsoever to thinking he's secretly a narcissist. Eventually it got to the point where I was on the verge of tears, and not because I genuinely thought he was cheating on me, but because I could feel myself spiraling and it was upsetting considering I hadn't had an episode like this in years. I didn't want to say anything to him cause I felt dumb, but knew if I didn't talk to him about it, it was going to eat me up inside, regardless of how irrational I knew my thinking was. So I told him what I saw and how I was feeling and he immediately grabbed his phone and showed me every person he's talked to today, but it turned out that the hearts were actually on a text from me. Before I went to the bathroom I had texted him my orders so that he could tell the server if he came while I was gone, which I completely forgot about. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I apologized 100 times and told him I truly didn't think he was cheating, but I definitely let the intrusive thoughts win that time. He wasn't upset and we laughed about it and had a great rest of our night.
Girlfriend wants us to adopt her baby brother and I think it's a bad idea. My 33 male, girlfriend, 21 female, wants us to adopt her baby brother. 5. My girlfriend's mother is an irresponsible and self-centered human who doesn't even care about her own children. When my girlfriend was a child, her mother would often drop her off at a relative's or friend's place and disappear for weeks or months with absolutely no contact with anyone. She and my girlfriend have a very cold relationship with neither person being able to be in the same room as the other. The only reason my girlfriend even contacts her mother is to check up on her brother whom she practically raised by herself. He called my girlfriend Mama till he was 3. Recently her mother left her baby brother with a neighbor saying that she was coming back to pick him up in an hour. The neighbor called my girlfriend after a few hours and informed her about the situation. She rushed over to get her brother and brought him to my place. It's been almost a week now and they're still living with me in my studio apartment. My girlfriend mentioned last night that she wants to legally adopt her brother and she wants to break all contact with her mother. My girlfriend is still in college and doesn't have a job. She still lives in her college dorm and spends a couple of nights at my place, but she is very adamant about adopting him. We have been together for a little over a year and we have talked about our future and getting married someday, but this is a very big responsibility and I am not sure if she understands the ramifications.
I almost cheated on my husband. I have not told him. I have been with my husband for 18 years now, 12 of them dating and 6 married, and I love the guy even more now that we have spent so much time together and he feels the same. We got through 3 years of long distance relationship just 1 year after we started dating, and then again a year of long distance because of my job, and we never even entertained the idea of a breakup, so sure we were of each other. After we eventually got married after dating for almost 12 years, we were blessed with twin girls and honestly I couldn't wish for anything more to be happy. Our twins are 4 years old and understandably after they were born our intimate life took a hit. We try to spend time with each other as much as possible but it's not always possible. Our twins are super energetic so they keep both of us on our toes. He is a very involved father and husband so we are both spent by the time the day ends. I recently went to a work conference for a week and this is where I almost cheated. On the last day my colleagues and me were sitting and drinking in the hotel bar and eventually they left one by one. I was having one last drink before leaving when a guy sat on the seat by my side. He started with small talk and eventually started complimenting and flirting with me, and I have to 100% honest here, I was enjoying it as it has been so long since someone was showing interest in me, and drunk me was taking in the attention. Eventually he asked me to come to his room after some time as to not arouse any suspicions and got up and went to get an extra room key from the reception. When he went away, I suddenly woke up from my stupidity and ran away to my room. In my drunk state I thought he would follow me so I couldn't even sleep properly because of the fear. I want to be clear here, I have no desire to cheat and neither am I unsatisfied or unhappy, but I am feeling incredibly guilty at my actions of that night. I am yet to tell my husband though, I just feel so ashamed to admit it to him. I need some advice on how to confess my actions to him, please help me.
What's a company secret you can share now that you don't work there? They are out of business now, but in the early 90s I worked at Radio Shack for a year and a half. When people would return an item because it didn't work, the manager of the store would just box it back up and sell it again as if it were new. When I asked him about it he said, hopefully they will return it to a different store. I nearly got fired when I refused to sell a guy a walkie-talkie CB radio that I knew didn't work. The guy was on his way out for a hunting trip and was buying 3 of these for him and his friends. We had 2 and the third was the broken one, in front of the customer. I told the manager that one didn't work and I had tested it. The guy was happy I told him. We arranged for him to get the last one he needed at a different store and off he went. The manager was livid with me and nearly fired me. I'm sorry, I'm not sending people out into the forest with gear I know doesn't work. Hilariously, a few months later the manager was caught stealing from the store and got fired. Today I messed up falling asleep while watching a movie. Yesterday I, 22 male, was on a plane, a 2-hour flight, scheduled to land at 8 p.m. I had the window seat, 2 other passengers were sitting next to me, a young couple, the woman was sitting in the middle, she was squeezing her boyfriend's hand the entire time, anxiety most likely, the weather was pretty bad, I could relate to how the woman was feeling, but instead of cutting off the blood circulation in another person's hand, I tried to distract myself by watching a movie on my laptop. The movie I chose to watch was called Violation, a movie my roommate recommended to me. It was almost as long as my flight was gonna be, so I thought why not. I fell asleep while watching Violation. It's a super messed up revenge movie. You'll love it, my roommate said. I was sold. Well, my roommate didn't mention that it was also super boring. The movie did one thing right though. It managed to put me to sleep during a turbulent flight. I woke up to someone tapping my shoulder. It was the passenger next to me. At that moment I noticed one of the flight attendants staring at me. I removed my headphones, thinking we were about to land. Nope. The flight attendant wanted to inform me that some of the passengers were uncomfortable with what I was watching on my laptop. I looked at my laptop and noticed an exposed guy sitting in a chair with a blindfold and a fully exposed Woody. The dude's shaft was literally flexing. I had no context of what was happening in that scene, but I instantly closed my laptop and apologized. As the flight attendant walked away, I heard a female passenger behind me thank the flight attendant. When I looked at the couple next to me, I realized that the boyfriend was now sitting next to me and not his girlfriend. I obviously made the girlfriend uncomfortable as well, hence the seat swap. The two of them avoided eye contact with me at all cost, even when we landed. When it was time for my section to get up and grab our luggage, the female passenger behind me said I should be ashamed for playing dirty movies on a plane when there are children around. I locked eyes with her little boy who made it clear to me that he could spell SpongeBob. I apologized to the mom and awkwardly looked away. I could feel people staring at me. F that movie.